In this video we continue talking about grandma stitches and how to implement certain design elements on those grandma stitches. This channel is all about combination continental, eastern, uncrossed grandma style of knitting. There are so many names of this style, and I knit my entire wardrobe using that style, using different techniques, different charts. Previously, I've showed you how to knit very fast and efficiently using this style, how to increase, decrease, understand the stitch anatomy. And today, let's talk about this design element. From today's video, you will learn how to knit this element using grandma stitches. If you need to switch to some other stitches, we will figure that out. And what is most important here, we will read the fabric without a pattern chart. We will try to understand what exactly is going on your knitting needles so that you don't have to be dependent on a certain pattern or ask for a pattern or buy a pattern. Okay? So we will analyze this fabric and figure out our own designs. You will learn how to make your own designs. This multicolor is a great choice. So let's get started and let's quickly analyze what do we see here. Even if you're a beginner, you probably might suggest that this is a stockinette stitch. It is. So that means these stitches are knit on the knit side, purl on the purl side. But here we have this wavy line. It really looks like purl stitch, right? But it's on the knit side. How come? Well, the answer here is very simple. It's purl stitches on the knit side, and today we will focus on that especially because with grandma stitches, when you knit through the back loop and purl through the front loop, this element is gonna be a little bit different. Now, color change, confusing something. We will talk about that chart a little bit later. 2 rows of regular knit stitches on the knit side, purl stitches on the purl side. And then again, that wavy thing, see that wavy line, which is purl stitches on the knit side. And then again, stockinette stitch with the color change, obviously. And then again, that wavy line. So let's focus on this one. Just a reminder, I have so many videos on granny stitches, on this grandma style. How do we knit with granny stitches? We go through the back loop of the stitch. I have separate videos explaining that style. So for stockinette stitch, this is how you knit. And this is how you purl. Like again, if you need a slower video, I have a separate video explaining this whole method. So for the purl stitch, we go through that front loop. Okay, if we need just stockinette stitch. So if I finish this row and turn this swatch, we will see that I've completed a few rows in stockinette stitch. Okay, looks good, looks decent. And now I want this element. I'm not gonna change the color, but I'm gonna implement, I'm gonna show you how to make that wavy row. Okay, so I'm on my knit side and I'm knitting in the flat. It's going to be a bit different in the round, and there will be a separate video. So I skip the first stitches. I always do knitting in the flat for this style, and I purl the last stitch. Now you see the knit stitches are turned the way I knit, right through that back loop. But if I want to see the stitch, to do a purl stitch above that knit stitch, what do I do? For purl stitch, I need this yarn on the side which is closer to you, okay? And if it was a normal purl stitch, like I just showed you, I would go through the front loop, okay? Theoretically. But no, because you see the way the stitch is oriented. That leading loop is the back loop. And if I go through this front loop, first of all, it's very, very inconvenient. You see? Even though I'm an experienced knitter, it's still inconvenient. And it's very obvious that the stitch is twisted. This purl stitch is twisted. If I go through this front loop, again, first of all, it's very inconvenient, and then it gives you a twisted stitch. Now I have two twisted stitches. I have a separate video on twisted stitches. Please watch it because it explains like a lot about which stitch is twisted, which is not. So I'm gonna undo those two stitches, place them on my left needle the way they are usually placed, and for this thing, what I do, I go through the back loop of the stitch. See, I purl through the back stitch, through the back loop of the stitch, again through the back loop. And when you take a look at this stitch, it's very obvious that it's not twisted, because I kind of untwisted by using that loop which is further to me. So I kind of, if, well, you know, if you say that, okay, going through the back loop or knitting through the back loop of the stitch twists the stitch. Okay, but I just untwisted it by purling through that back loop. See? Okay. So I continue purling through that back loop until the end of the row. So you have to see your stitch and you have to make sure that it's not twisted. See? Non-twisted, not twisted, not twisted. If I go through the front loop, twisted. You see the difference? Twisted, untwisted. Okay. So I hope that it makes sense. And let's take a look at what is going on the purl side. So on the purl side, all the stitches that I purled on the knit side, they look like knit stitches. What happens if I continue knitting? Because they really look like knit stitches. They want me to go like this, because for a knit stitch, for this grandma style, this is the most convenient way to go. And if I turn my work, I see that I just made a second row of those wavy things, and I have this element right here. See, I had one row of that wavy thing, and then the second row of that wavy thing. Okay, where else do I have it? Right here, two rows, one and two, and here just one. Okay, here one and two, and here just one. Let's say I want just one, so I'm gonna undo it And if I want just one row, okay, I need to purl on the purl side to get back on track with that stockinette stitch, that stockinette rhythm. So again, I want my purl stitches on the purl side, and right now I'm on the purl side. So I'm gonna purl, and again through the back loop. And as you continue this design, you can easily see which way you should turn your stitch and when you need to go through the front loop and when do you need to go through the back loop. If you go through the back loop, your stitch is untwisted, purl stitch. Okay, so if I go like this, my stitch is not twisted. If I go through this front loop, it's twisted. No, I don't want that. I want it untwisted. Now let's take a look at the knit side. And we see that I've got that wavy line, and the rest of the stitches, they look like knit stitches. And I'm on the knit side, and this is exactly what I want. So if I want just one row, one wavy row, okay, I will continue knitting the normal way I knit for this grandma style, okay? These are knit stitches, and I've got that wavy row right here. I'm going to turn my work. I'm going to finish this row and turn my work, and let's make another experiment. What happens if I knit on the purl side? What happens? So these stitches are obviously oriented the way that the deleted leg is the front leg. So if I knit through that back loop, I have a twisted stitch. Once again, it gave me a twisted stitch. Again, please watch my video on twisted stitches because it explains which stitch is twisted, which is not. Okay, so let's undo it and see what we can do. If we want untwisted stitches, we need to see which leg is leading. So if I want to go for knit stitches on the purl side and I don't want twisted stitches, I do not go through that back loop. I go through the front loop to untwist that stitch. Okay, this is definitely untwisted. But what is going on the front side, on the knit side? I've got that wavy line, like this one. Okay, so I continue going through that front loop. Now I'm on my knit side. Here's what I had. I had stockinette part, that wavy row, which is purl stitch on the knit side, and then again stockinette, and then that I did those knit stitches on the purl side. The result is the same. So if you knit on the purl side and if you purl on the knit side, gives you similar result. Now, let's say I want to get back to my stockinette, and again I see that I need to go through this front loop at the knit side, because otherwise if I go through the back loop, it gives me a twisted stitch. So I don't want that, and that's why I untwist the stitches by going through that front loop. So what has just happened? I untwisted all my stitches and I'm back with my regular stockinette stitch. Let's turn the work and see what's going on the purl side. And on the purl side, I've got my stitches that are turned the way I like them for granny style of purling. So I have this leading leg closer to me. This is where the yarn goes. Okay, and I'm just back to this regular purling, like I purl for this grandma style. And that's basically all you need to know. And what I really recommend you just take a piece of yarn, okay, and your needles, and take like 20 minutes and try to figure out what happens if you do this or that, what it gives you if you go through that front loop, through the back loop. Try to experiment. Try to make one row of those purl stitches on the inside. Try to make 2 rows and see what happens. Because when you understand, when you can read your own stitches, you don't need patterns, or you don't always need patterns, because you can read the stitches as they are. So good luck to you. I hope that it makes sense. This confusing thing, I just don't want to make this video too long. We will talk about this one a little bit later. Please let me know if you have any questions, and I hope you have fun knitting, and I will see you next week.